Listen. Charles and the workshop. Charles loved to visit his father's workshop. His father was a carpenter who made beautiful furniture and decorations from wood. Charles admired his father's skill and wanted to learn from him. One day, his father said to him, "Charles, you are old enough to help me in the workshop. I will teach you how to use some of the tools that I work with. But you have to be careful and follow my instructions. These tools can be dangerous if you don't use them properly." Charles was very excited and agreed to listen to his father. They went to the workshop and his father showed him a table full of tools. He picked up a pair of pliers and said, "These are pliers. They are used to grip, twist, or cut wires and other materials. You can use them to bend metal or pull out nails. But you have to be careful not to pinch your fingers or cut yourself with them." He handed the pliers to Charles and showed him how to hold them. He said, "You have to squeeze the handles together to open and close the jaws. The jaws have teeth that help you grip the material. Try it on this piece of wire." He gave Charles a piece of wire and watched him use the pliers. Charles felt the pliers in his hand and tried to copy his father. He squeezed the handles and opened the jaws. He placed the wire between the jaws and closed them. He felt the teeth biting into the wire. He twisted the pliers and bent the wire into a curve. "Very good, Charles," his father praised him. "You are doing well. Now let me show you another tool." He picked up a screwdriver and said, "This is a screwdriver. It is used to drive screws into wood or metal. You can also use it to remove screws. But you have to be careful not to slip or stab yourself with it." He handed the screwdriver to Charles and showed him how to hold it. He said, "You have to hold the handle firmly and align the tip with the head of the screw. The tip has a shape that matches the shape of the screw head. There are different types of screwdrivers for different types of screws. This one is a flathead screwdriver, which has a flat tip that fits into a slot on the screw head. Try it on this piece of wood." He gave Charles a piece of wood with a screw in it and watched him use the screwdriver. Charles felt the screwdriver in his hand and tried to copy his father. He held the handle firmly and aligned the tip with the slot on the screw head. He pressed down and turned the screwdriver clockwise. He felt the screw moving deeper into the wood. "Very good, Charles," his father praised him again. "You are doing well. Now let me show you one more tool." He picked up a wrench and said, "This is a wrench. It is used to tighten or loosen nuts and bolts. You can use it to fasten or unfasten parts together. But you have to be careful not to over-tighten or strip them." He handed the wrench to Charles and showed him how to hold it. He said, "You have to adjust the size of the opening to fit the nut or bolt you want to work on. The opening has two jaws that grip the nut or bolt when you turn the wrench. This one is an adjustable wrench, which has a wheel that changes the size of the opening. Try it on this piece of metal." He gave Charles a piece of metal with a nut and bolt in it and watched him use the wrench. "Very good, Charles," his father praised him for the third time. "You are doing well. You have learned how to use 3 basic tools today: pliers, screwdriver, and wrench. There are many more tools in my workshop, but these are enough for now. You can practice with them until you master them." Learn. Number 1. Pliers. Pliers are a tool that can be used to grip, bend, cut, or twist different materials, such as wires, nails, or pipes. They have 2 metal jaws that can be opened and closed by a handle. Some pliers have different shapes or sizes of jaws for different purposes. Number 2. Nails. Nails are thin metal rods that have a flat head at one end and a sharp point at the other. They are used to fasten pieces of wood or other materials together by hammering them into the surface. Nails come in different lengths and thicknesses for different types of projects. Number 3. Screwdriver. A screwdriver is a tool that has a metal tip at one end and a handle at the other. It is used to turn screws, which are metal fasteners that have a spiral groove on their surface. Screws can be tightened or loosened by rotating the screwdriver in the direction of the groove. Number 4. Screws. Screws are metal fasteners that have a spiral groove on their surface and a head at one end. They are used to join pieces of wood or metal together by drilling them into the material with a screwdriver or a drill. Screws come in different sizes and shapes of heads and grooves for different types of projects. Number 5. Wrench. A wrench is a tool that has an opening or a loop at one or both ends. It is used to tighten or loosen nuts, bolts, or other fasteners that have a hexagonal or square shape. Wrenches come in different sizes and shapes to fit different types of fasteners. Number 6. Nuts. Nuts are metal fasteners that have a hole in the center and 6 sides. They are used to secure bolts, which are metal rods that have threads on their surface and a head at one end. To loosen nuts, you need to use a wrench or a plier to turn them counterclockwise. Number 7. Bolts. Bolts are metal rods that have threads on their surface and a head at one end. They are used to join pieces of wood or metal together by passing them through holes in the material and securing them with nuts. Bolts come in different lengths and diameters for different types of projects. Play the game. I have 2 jaws but no teeth. I can grip and twist but not bite. That I can hold things together, but I'm not a glue. What am I? Hooray! You can call me a plier. I am thin and sharp, but I'm not a knife. I can be bent, but I'm not a wire. I can join things together but not take them apart. What am I? Hooray! Yes, I am a nail. I can be driven, but I'm not a car. I can be twisted, but I'm not a rope. I can be flat or cross, but I'm not a road. What am I? Hooray! A screwdriver is what I am. I can be open or closed, but I'm not a door. I can be adjustable, but I'm not a seat. I can be used to tighten or loosen, but I'm not a knob. What am I? Hooray! You can call me a wrench. I have a hole and a shape. I can be hexagonal, but I'm not a honeycomb. I can be used with a bolt, but I'm not a screw. What am I? Hooray! Yes, I am a nut. I have a head and a shaft. I can be fastened, but I'm not a button. I can be used with a nut, but I'm not a screwdriver. What am I? Hooray! A bolt is what I am.